Alright folks, Acid Roots here. It's time for part 4 of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So I just got done playing through this game, and the gameplay you're gonna see, and I got basically to the final zone of the game. That's about all there is left before I can, definitely say I've beaten this game. That's kind of the situation. It's gonna be interesting because I haven't, like I've said before, I haven't actually completed. I've gotten to that zone before, but haven't actually defeated the other Robotnik. I could beat the Sonic enemy, but not the Robotnik one. So we'll see what happens there. And luckily, with the level select code, it allows me to get there over and over. Don't need continues. Don't need any of that. It kind of happens to be the thing. So, but we're gonna keep trucking forward with this, and this is where, honestly, this is kind of a complicated zone in a lot of ways, but then so is the next world. That stage kind of pissed me off, and I did get a game over there, and seeing as I didn't have any continues, basically booted me back to the title screen. But in case you do get game over, you don't have to start from the beginning. I don't know how many people have talked about this on YouTube, but if you use the level select code and then you hold A and press start, even if you get a game over, you can go back to level select. You don't have to put in the code again or anything like that. So, made it simple. It's like, okay, it was just the same thing. Might as well just have went back to the titles, or might as well just have did a continue, but I'm not gonna argue. So, the starfish enemies are bastards. They really are kind of chumps, and there's a particular segment at the end in Zone 3 that you might die in. It almost killed me, and I was kind of wondering what was going to happen there, but the thing about it is the rings, when you get hit by them, they do tend to bounce. Sometimes they'll just bounce a little bit, but when you fall from like a pretty high height, they will bounce real high and they'll just be out of reach. This is kind of the thing. That's why it's good to sometimes have Tails with you, because he can take the hit or he can defeat the enemy for you. So, this is one of the final stages. This is the final stage where you can have Tails help you, though. He flies the plane, but it's not really. It's mostly Sonic that does it. So, but then I don't know. That's kind of the situations. I don't even know. Because I don't know if player 2 could catch Sonic, because if Sonic jumps, I don't know if you have to depend on player 2 to make sure you don't fall off into the abyss. So it's kind of, I don't know what happens there. It's been a while since I've played with 2 players in this game. But, so. Game over. Luckily I had to continue though. This is just another one for the record books. I'm just kind of like another solid game to complete on my channel. I need more games like this, but I'm just trying to figure out. I would kind of like to start getting out of the 90s a bit, but I'm just running out of like actual tactics as far as games that I can beat. It's not an easy concept, And this is kind of reaching a point where I'm just trying to figure out, because there's only so many good Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis games. That's the thing. Compared to now, where there's like 50 games coming out a year, or 200, something like that. This was back in the day. You probably had like 7 good games a year that came out, something like that. But especially with the Sega, I don't know that machine as well, but I'm aware that it did have some good stuff. Yep. Just trying to otherwise figure out what else is going to go on here with Sega, or not, with Acid Roots, I'm just trying to. I'm still doing movie commentaries, but even those are starting to plunk. So I just, it just feels. Sometimes you start to realize that you just are kind of talking to a wall almost, because everything is just being so stubborn right now. It's too bad, because I've got so many ideas for this channel, but it's really difficult to kind of get a footing for much of anything on this channel. I mean, I guess, like, I don't know for certain, but I don't know how many people were actually grumpy about the 4-year break I took off back in 2016. But I'm just kind of like, hell, I mean, it's at least, I mean, to me it just comes down to, and that's just kind of the situation, is, kind of comes down to this pure amounts of videos. I don't care if a person takes like a 4 or 5 month break if they have like 50 videos that I wanted to watch before that point. You know, this kind of thing when you do preparations and stuff, and it's like, okay, I'm taking several months off, but here's like 20 videos and they're all more than 10 or 20 minutes. It's like big deal, you know. I mean, I've been on the internet long enough to where things like that happen. I mean, that's kind of the thing, is sometimes it's just like, especially when you pay attention to television. I mean, nowadays with the Netflix stuff, a television season lasts from like September to July, so you're really only going just August without any new episodes of your favorite show. And especially if it's a success on Netflix, then it's just kind of, then it's like you really, they try to minimize waiting as much as possible. But like with things like Red vs. Blue of the Halo series and stuff, I mean, you never knew when the seasons were going to come out. Sometimes they started in March, sometimes they started in September. Just never knew. But so yeah, here we are at Zone 3. So that is a new recording sequence, and we're just going to have to kind of mess with it. I mean, this game tries to imply that you should one take this. I mean, if you're going for completionist's sake, because the continues and the lives you keep will at least help you out if you want to do it. But I don't feel terribly inclined to want to one take it. It's just it's purely for their glory's sake, you know. This kind of happens to be the thing there. But I almost thought about doing Sonic Spinball after this, but there's just no way. No way I could beat that game. Yep, so you're gonna go left in this stage too. I mean, that's the thing, is it's not just going right and thinking that that's the right way. I mean, sometimes it's really labyrinth-like. So I made a bunch of videos with Cobalt on my vlog channel. Just came back from doing that, and that was kind of fun. Had some fun with it. He got his commercial driver's license, so now he can drive around because of his job. That's good. That's a really annoying placement of an enemy. He can't even attack me, he's still able to hurt me. So I don't know how you're supposed to get past that. It was just bad enemy placement. Tails should have taken care of it, though. But yeah, so it's good to level up with jobs. And that's kind of the situation, is just to talk about that, have some extra stuff. So I was trying to think of what I'm gonna do. I've got the Citicruise things to sit there and plan for, but I just don't know the spectrum behind how some of that's gonna go. I don't know, it just feels like a lot of running in place, and it just is bastardized because I don't know the point of all the vindictiveness, you know? It's kind of the thing. There's too many people that want to be entertainers. I miss the YouTube from 2012. I mean, at least back in those days, it wasn't as if like it was full blown taking food off other people's plates, you know? It's kind of the thing. I mean, yeah, so I talk about that ring as not coming back. I'm just like, fuck it. So yeah, so apparently, you know, I know obviously this is old news, but there was like a Sonic the Hedgehog 4 or like there's like a Sonic Unlimited or something like that that came out where it has the same engine as these Genesis games, but it was like new Sonic stuff. I think that's partially the reason why this, you know, has been kind of overcast in terms of attention it's got, is just because people are like, fuck this, you know, there's new Sonic afoot. I'm kind of, that's the situation, is just trying to talk about that. And I mean, most of the time people give Sega flack for the fact that they just can't seem to recapture the essence of Sonic, but I think they might have done it with those games that came out for whatever machine. I think it was PC, I don't really remember, I just don't know. It was like something, it might be on Steam, something like that, but there just were a bunch of new Sonic games. You can play as some of Knuckles' buddies, his characters, and that sort of stuff. I mean, there was just a bunch of characters that you can play as, and it's basically classic Sonic, but I don't know. The problem with it is I just feel like the team that worked on this game is just gone for good. I mean, you gotta understand that if they were 25, 30 years ago, that means they're pushing 60 now, and I just don't know if their brains are in the creative space. I'm kind of whizzing through this part. I mean, I'm surprised I'm not dead here. That's really the thing. I mean, I kind of lucked my way through this, but so once again, I mean, you get hit and those rings just fly off the screen. I feel like the version of Sonic that I have, the rings are just more of a bastard. So they just go everywhere and there's no way of getting them. You might get like 2. When I used to get hit actually playing on the Genesis, I could at least get like 5 or 6 of them back, but now it's just like you get 1, and it's like you go from having 85 rings to having 1, just getting hit 1 time. I definitely feel like they get reduced, but I don't think you should go from having almost 3 digits to just having 1 or 2 afterwards. I mean, this is not, it's, you know, contrived to have that sort of stuff happen. So yeah, this is where I was talking about where whether or not player 2 would be able to catch Sonic if you jumped around too much, if it is dependent upon them. I think maybe the computer would help out, but you never know if it would be your buddy that would have to do it. So there actually is a way of dying, so don't think that Tails can save you every single time. If you are trying to jump away from Tails, you can fall to your death here. I mean, he'll catch you most of the time, but something to know. Don't get too fancy. Once again, I know there's an abundance of LPs of this game, but it makes me wonder if every single detail about this game has been showcased, if just all the fun facts about it are actually known and stuff. Because even if everyone's done it, it just feels like most people just do speed runs and then call it a day. So it just seems like it's like they talk about it, they say blah blah blah, you know, I would play this as a kid and blah blah blah, but I don't know. This depends upon your reaction to what you think is important to it. You know, there's stories to tell about Sonic. I mean, I definitely feel like there should be some things rather than just some of that stuff, especially some of the older cats, you know. Like, oh yeah, we played this until 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, something like that. It's good. I'm actually thinking about getting Ninja Turtles The Hyperstone Heist. That's another Sega game. I kind of want to do that, you know, that would be like the thing. The thing about my Genesis is even though it has this game packaged, I can actually do some extra ones just because it has a cartridge slot for it. That's pretty dope. So I could get like Booger Man and Ninja Turtles and those type games, Contra Hardcore and some of those. So yeah, this stage is a bastard. I mean, because they know you want to go fast, and this is not smart at all. I mean, obviously, if you go fast, you're gonna fall to your death, and then you'll get game over, and then hopefully you have internet so you can get the level select cheat, because otherwise it's just you're playing the whole game over. So I could only imagine what the poor saps that had to do that back in those days, you know, like damn, we have to do this whole game over. But alright folks, subscribe for more fun.